into his stride.
The champion, one ahead.
Frame 2 underway. 8 frames will be played in this first session. And that's not the best safety shot from Mark. Left John a pot on here. Didn't have to do anything, no side. He can go around the back of the black. So good cueing, good centre ball striking needed. And got. Needs to stop short of the ball line as well, so he played it confidently enough. So as in the first frame, John Higgins gets first chance.
Green.
Yeah, 2 out of 2. A little bit ironic, really, that mistakes from safeties from two of the probably the best safety players in world snooker today.
4.
That was a nicely played shot as well. Couldn't really have picked the cue ball up in his hand and put it any better.
Well, I like to see 90% and above on safety, but they're in the final, so something's been working.
5.
I like to see about 30%, John. He used the bunch here to hold for this red to right corner. Don't miss the black.
At
John
this
Higgins,
level,
5.
you miss a black off the spot when you're in, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, I agree, John. He's going to struggle to win this final if he misses many of them. Got to keep unforced errors at a premium.
He's got the red to the right corner, but hampered, as you can see. But he thinks he can cut this one back to the left corner. It's thin. Cue ball could be going near the right middle here. He's overcut it. He's overcut it. Well, for once, missing the black off its spot has not been too costly. Playing the red to the middle. Thinks he's got more control for position.
1.
Checked it up nicely and played it well. Don't think there's any value. I mean, he could pot the green and try and bring the black into play, but no value in that, Stephen, don't you think? It's a bit early to be thinking of that, I think. Just concentrate on the loose reds. And
I don't know, it's a pretty good call.
yeah, it was just one of those things that if you just caught the black the wrong side
4.
and couldn't get through to the red over the corner, then you'd have been thinking to yourself, well, why did I do that? So maybe concentrate and just build up a useful lead, and I think that way at the moment.
Yeah, I think if we were 4 or 5 frames into this session, I think he would
5.
definitely have played that shot. I think he's been lucky there. If he's got this blue straight to the green pocket, he's been very lucky.
Yeah, that was a nice kiss on the blue. As Stephen said, anything but straight, that would have been very awkward.
10.
But the run of the ball can change so quickly at this game. When you get it, take advantage.
Yeah, and especially over a 4-session match, the run of the balls can change so many times. Looks like he's going to leave himself further away from this red than he would like. I think the pink's available to left middle, so nothing to do with the cue ball. Just stun this red in, leave the cue ball where the
16.
red is.
$70.
Struck that beautifully. It's so easy on that type of shot to decelerate and just not get through it, but held the cue ball perfectly. Now, does the pink go on its own spot? You wouldn't mind it going on the black spot. That's handy.
23.
That's very handy.
So this could be the shot now that,
24.
let's say, wins John the frame, but if he strikes the red that's directly above the pink at pace, should open everything up here. Where's the pink going to go?
30.
Just about on this red. To the right middle, it's unmissable with that other red, but he won't want to nudge the other red, he want to pot it clean. And he did.
31.
Clean it, left that red over the middle. Might not play for it now, but it's always there as a reserve. Just looking for another 24 points to get to the snooker's required stage. That was a heavy contact. Didn't run through as he would like. He wanted to be straight on this red, the red immediately to the left
36.
of the pink. Now, as we watch it, he doesn't really want to play the red over the middle, but he'll have to now. Just got to avoid a kiss on a colour which could ruin position. I don't know whether he thought he could get a kiss on the black or something, I don't know. I do know he'll be playing a snooker now.
Yeah, that's once in the first frame and once in this frame. The kick has ruined things for John Higgins when he's been in the balls. And people at home might say, "Oh, why don't you get the cue ball cleaned all the time?" But you don't want to break up your rhythm, do you? You want to, you don't want to be stopping all the time to get the cue ball cleaned.
It seems, I mean, you'd think roll up behind the green, but he's got a 42-point advantage, and he's thinking, can I put a colour safe and still get the snooker? Personally, I'd be rolling up to the green. But
John
regarded
Higgins,
as one of the best
37.
match players in the game, I won't criticise any decision he makes. He's not got the snooker. Mark Selby having a look, surely there's not a plant there. He's interested. No, not quite. Unless it flicks off the next red, it's hard to tell from behind the pocket. You'd only know if you look down, but it's not a direct plant. But it is a return to balk. I don't know whether it flicks off the third red. We'll see. No, it was never a plant. He was only just trying to find a path back to balk. That red immediately to the left of the pink, I think it's available. That's the one that John played for before until he got the heavy contact on the blue. He can play this as a shot for nothing. Stephen said, they recovered the cushions, and it seemed to be coming off them a little bit slower than they had been doing. Both players will have to make a minor adjustment.
I think as a player you prefer that to the other extreme, the bouncing off the cushions. The table's pretty much uncontrollable when that happens.
Just feel if John can knock one more red in, he'd win the frame. Just a bit thick. That was half a chance. Couldn't wish for better than that. There is a red, so not completely snookered. Bit thick again. Bit thick, took the pace out of the cue ball. I suppose you could say not left anything that easy, but look of bemusement on John's face.
I bet the connoisseur fans of the safety game, John, will be fascinated to find out who gets the better of these exchanges over the next 2 days.
Yeah, and I know you're not one of those connoisseurs, Stephen, but the thing is, no matter, and that was a nice kiss, but no matter how good the safety is, it will come down eventually to who's going to knock the long reds in.
Yep. This looks a good cue ball, or is there going to be a gap? Excellent run.
Yeah, absolutely, that was better. So John Higgins has made that adjustment to get the pace of the table. And give him a mark here. Something to think about. And as I say, John Higgins having a 42-point lead. You feel just one more chance and the frame will be his. No pot there. Okay, you can see the red on the right-hand side of the table as he looks, left-hand side as we'll look. But if you play that to cross double, if you got it a fraction too thick, you could get into another red and keep the cue ball at this end. Over a minute thinking time. I don't think, I mean, if he could, he may play off the side cushion and try and nestle on the red near the top cushion, but I think the brown may be stopping that escape route. But if he plays the red on the left-hand side of the table, he's got to catch it mighty thin. Well, this is a big shout. Two cushion escape with pace. I know he's very good at this, but this will be a good shot. If he catches it thick, He's lost the frame. He's caught it thick. Where's the red going? Oh, well, would you believe it?
Yeah, he looked to his opponent, raised a hand. Not a glimmer from John Higgins. I mean, this is horrendous if you're John Higgins sat in your chair. Look how thick. He's in. He's going to win the frame now. And then the red goes in the middle. Yeah.
John's been around long enough to know that things happen. Well, there's nothing going to tempt Mark to play a pot. But the point is, if the red doesn't go in the pocket, look where the cue ball was. It was just a simple
Selby won.
finish of the frame. Okay, it only cost 1 point, but it's kept him in the frame. Yes, if you're going to miss those there on the side of vitamin too thin. But once again, struggling with the pace of the table. Wanted to be on the baulk cushion, not the baulk line. Well, couldn't have been much closer with the pot, and no luck this time for Mark Selby. I have to say, it's a bit unfortunate for that red to come back with the cue ball. Made absolutely sure. So he's got the blue, just got to control it, got to miss the kiss on the pink and the red below the pink, you would think, for position. Shouldn't be a problem. Little shake of the head there from John. It definitely seems to be playing a little bit slower off the cushions at the moment.
Yeah, the last long ball attempt at John played, you could tell the way the cue ball came off the top cushion, the way it reacted.
Seven.
Yeah, see.
Now, if you watch the cue ball here, couldn't quite see it from that angle.
Not perfect on this pink. And that's why he's missed it. And it all came about when he potted the blue and he didn't get right on the red. Okay, he potted in the middle, he got wrong angle on the pink. He was going away from the red that he needed to clinch the frame. Although he shouldn't have missed the pink, in all honesty.
Needs to win this frame for me now, John Higgins, because he's had a few chances at it and he's, you know, starting to be a wee bit edgy.
I couldn't agree with you more. And that red over the corner now covered. John Higgins has a problem. Just looking for a red, that's all, but played that nicely. Needs to run a touch. Now is the gap. I'm looking at John Higgins' face. He thinks there's a gap. The red just to the left of the pink as we look. He can get to the potting angle. Can he? There's a gap. There's always a gap. He can pot this. That's amazing. Is he on the colour?
1.
Is he on the brown? Because at the moment, he's 47 points behind, and there's only 43 remaining. He was hoping to be on the black. If he pots the brown, he can only tie now. And he could pot the brown, but he's now 43 points behind. 43 remaining, and he's sneaked past the pink, and he's not on the red.
5.
And whatever red he plays, if he doesn't get a black with it, he'll need a snooker.
That was a great pot. That's not out of the woods yet.
No, this is tough because I don't think he's a black you can just roll in. There's definitely a danger of going in off in the left corner pocket, so he's going to have to stun it a little bit, and that makes the pot more difficult. So just right below centre, just to widen the angle. Yes, it was tough. And I'm sure he'd like to look at John Higgins now and say you can have this frame, but it's not etiquette to do that. When it's your opponent's turn at the table, you go back to your seat and let him play on.
He'll be a very relieved John Higgins now to have finally got this frame in the back.
But once again, you see, just not got the pace of this table yet.
1 in the frame.
And that's enough though, so John Higgins, there's not a few heart-stopping moments there in that frame, but eventually he got over the line. One apiece.